got a phone call from a lady in Birmingham, Alabama. At the end of the conversation, she said, Zig, she said, I believe this woman thinks she's got an impossible problem, but I believe you can solve that problem with her in just a few minutes if you will spend that time with her. I said, well, Laurie, tell her to meet me backstage. I'll get there about 10 minutes early. My schedule was such that was about all I had. Well, I got there, and I was on backstage behind the curtain on one side. She spotted me from the other side, and as she walked across the stage, I have never seen as much anger in a human being in my life as I saw in her. She almost started crying when she saw me. She said, oh, I'm just so glad to see you. I got this horrible job. I hate it. I hate everything about it. I hate everybody down there. I mean, you talking about negative nails, she was it. She said, can you help me? Now, understand, I've only got about 10 minutes. So I looked at her, and one thing I have learned, I don't do counseling, but I talk with a lot of people who do, in psychology, psychiatry, and the ministry. And they tell me that everybody who comes to you with a problem are not necessarily looking for a solution. I couldn't understand that for a long time. Why do they bring you a problem if they don't want to solve it? Well, I can tell you why. They want to tell you about it, you about it, you about it, you about it, and you about it. And if you foul up the deal and solve the problem, they can't tell you again, you again. They want the attention that goes with the problem, and every company just about it has that kind of an individual. They want the attention that goes with griping and complaining. Well, I looked at the lady, and it wasn't unkindly, but firmly I said to her, yes, and you know, ma'am, I'm afraid your problem is about to get worse. She said, what do you mean? I said, I believe they're going to fire you. She was stunned. I couldn't have stunned her more if I'd hit her in the face with a bucket of ice water. She said, fire me? Why on earth would they fire me? The inflection in her voice clearly said, they're the bad guys, I'm the good guy. Why don't they fire them and keep me? Have you ever noticed that people who are the problem never recognize that they are? They're in complete denial. They think denial is just a river in Egypt. Why would they fire me? I said, ma'am, I don't believe there's a company in America big enough to contain this much poison in one small spot. Have you ever noticed that when somebody is about to lose something they've been complaining about, whether it's a car, a home, a mate, a job, or whatever, when all of a sudden it appears they're going to lose them, it takes on brand new value. She looked at me and said, well, what can I do? I said, do you really want to know? She said, yes, I do. That's the reason I came to see you. I came looking for help, but you sure haven't been any help so far. I said, well, ma'am, I've got an idea, and I will absolutely guarantee you it positively, definitely, absolutely will work if you will just do it. She said, I'll try anything within reason. I said, okay, when you get home tonight, all of your household tasks are complete. It's bedtime. Get off in a room right by yourself. Get a sheet of paper out, and at the top of it, write, I like my job because. She interrupted me. She said, that'll be easy. I don't like nothing about that job. Don't like nothing about those people down there. And I said, well, just as a matter of curiosity, do you work there for benevolent reasons, or do they pay you for working there? She said, well, I got to confess, they pay me. And I said, and you don't like to be paid? Oh, she said, yes, I do. I said, okay, tell you what you do. Open your notebook right now. We'll start our list of the things you like about your job. They pay you for working there, and you do like it, don't you? She said, absolutely. But she just stood there. I said, no, open your notebook now, and we'll get busy on the list. She just stood there. I said, ma'am, let me tell you what my experience in life has been. I've discovered that in 100% of the cases, no exceptions, people who won't take step number one never take step number two. You see, she had come to me with an impossible dream. Her dream was that nice Mr. Ziegler was going to solve all of her problems, and she would live happily ever after. But folks, I got news for you. I can't solve her problems. I can't solve your problems. But I will give you some steps that I'll absolutely, definitely, and positively will work for you, as it worked eventually for her. I said, well, ma'am, let me tell you something. Unless you're willing to take step number one right now, it's been nice talking with you. She angrily opened her notebook. Before we got through, there were 22 things she liked about her job. Not only did they pay her for working there, they paid her above average. She had 3 weeks vacation with pay. She had a retirement program. She was in on profit sharing. She had health insurance, life insurance, and accident insurance. She lived less than 10 minutes from home. She was in on management decisions. The company sent her to 3 seminars a year to be paid for. She had her own private office and parking place. 22 things that she liked about her job. Now I said, man, when you get home tonight, everything is finished. Get off in a room right by yourself, close the doors, change one word from I like my job to I love my job. Get in front of that mirror, and folks, I cannot say this strongly enough, but I'm going to try. The eyes are the windows of the soul. Look yourself in the eye, and with excitement and enthusiasm, say, I love my job because they pay me for working there. I love my job because they pay me above average for working there. I love my job because I have a wonderful insurance program. I love my job before every one of the statements. You will sleep better that night. You see, there's something hidden in what I'm saying to you now. When she says, I like my job, she's really saying, I'm grateful for my job. And of all of the emotions we can have, according to Hans Selye, the #1 stress specialist in America, the healthiest of all human emotions is gratitude. I said, you go down that list. I like my job. I love my job, rather. That is a way of gratitude. You'll sleep better the first night. Tomorrow morning, when you get up, get back in front of the mirror just before you go to work. Get back in front of the mirror and repeat the process again with excitement and enthusiasm. I love my job because, and take the list with you. Because the reality is, you see, you will have started to change from a fault finder to a good finder. Some people do really find fault like there's a reward for it. They really do. Take the list with you, and you will be able to add to that list, absolutely guaranteed. Do this every morning and every night, and you will have an astonishing recovery from this advanced case of stinking thinking. Now, I didn't say that to her, but I'm saying it to you. That's what it was. It was an advanced case of stinking thinking. Well, 6 weeks later, I was back in Birmingham, Alabama. I was doing a follow-up sales seminar. Now, the lady was not in sales, but she had been listening to my tapes. She had been listening to Automobile University, and she had discovered that everybody sells. Everybody who will ever hear this is in selling. Whether you're a school teacher, a civil service worker, a military personnel, an executive secretary, it doesn't make any difference. What you do, you sell every day of your life. There she was at the sales seminar, seated on the front row, grinning so wide she could have eaten a banana sideways. I'm telling you, you're talking about somebody that was excited. She was turned on. I said, well, how you done? She grinned even more broadly and said, Mr. Ziegler, I'm doing wonderfully well, and thank you for asking. She said, you cannot believe how much those people down there have changed. I got to lay it on the line, folks. You're not going to change anybody else till you change you. Everything really does begin with you. Now, you see, the unfortunate thing, this lady had been raised in a very negative environment. First, her parents had told her that she'd never amount to anything. They had said, you know, you're always late, you're always sloppy, why can't you be like your brother or your sister or whatever? When she got married, her husband had continued it, and so her self-talk had become completely negative. Everything that she said about herself was negative. You know, like Dad said, I'll never amount to anything. Or like my husband says, I can't do anything right. But when she started changing the input, then some radical change.
What's up, Fire Nation? Another bonus episode coming your way. This one was a great chat. I had a lot of fun with Terry Wilson. Terry is a serial entrepreneur who offers entrepreneurs and solopreneurs the tools, training, and technology needed to earn and enjoy more. For the past 13 years, he's helped thousands of hungry individuals discover their thing, develop the skills to do it, and be given a strategy to deliver it to market and produce value. Terry has a weekly podcast that can be heard on iTunes, Stitcher, and at terrywilson3.com. He also wrote a book called You Are Worth More, which you can check out at youareworthmorebook.com. We have a lot of fun in this episode, Fire Nation. I truly hope you enjoy. It's hard. It is hard work to achieve uncommon success. But you know what else is hard, Terry? Being broke.
You better believe that.
Living paycheck to paycheck, not being able to support your loved ones, not being able to support yourself, not being able to get up in the morning and do something that you want to do, but doing something you have to do. That's hard too. So Terry, my call to action for everybody here is choose your hard. Like back in 2012, it was hard. I spent 32 years of my life doing hard work and making the wrong decision on choosing my hard. I was going down the wrong path. I wasn't having any success. But then I flipped it and I said, you know what? Building this business, Entrepreneurs on Fire, it's going to be hard work. But the alternative is hard too. So I choose the hard of building a life of freedom, of building a life of choice, of building a life of uncommon success. And that's my call to action to everybody hearing our voices today. Choose your hard.
Choose your hard. Boy, I love that. You know, because there's a high cost of low living. And sometimes we think that, you know, we're just going to get out of this easy by taking the path of least resistance. And boy, sometimes the end of that path is just a tiger. I'm telling you, brother, I'm telling you.
Identify your big idea. Not be a weak, pale imitation of somebody else's big idea, which most people do. They're like, oh, look at what Terry's doing. He's so successful. Look what John's doing. I'll just copy them. And then you wonder why you fail, because you're a weak, pale imitation of those people and you will never win as a result. You need to come up with your big idea, your zone of fire, and wake up every day on fire, living that life. That is the life that you deserve. Because what at the end of the day do we really want? Freedom. The ability to wake up and do what we want, where we want to do it, with whom we want to do it with. If you have those three things, what more is there in life? And you can give yourself that gift. Just take it.
Which is identifying why are you here? You know, I like to say it this way. You're not a cosmic accident. You didn't show up on planet Earth because lightning struck a mud puddle billions of years later and you crawled out. You're a significant person with a significant reason for being here. There's a reason for you to be here. And once you identify that big idea, as John just said it, life becomes, oh my gosh, becomes unimaginable. Give us go ahead.
Just on that point real quick. I mean, I think it's so key for people to understand this, like what Terry is just sharing. There is so much wisdom out there in this world, but there's also so much noise and it's chaotic. And sometimes it's so hard to really cut through all of this and to really get to the meat and potatoes, to really get down to what matters.
Does anyone know Terry's story, what Terry did?
I do.
So Terry sold musical instruments, sold pianos, right? And what was it? Was it 9/11 that created the problem?
Yeah.
9/11 creates a problem. Nobody wants to go. There's no money in town anymore. It's a brick and mortar store. Some woman comes up to him in church, some older woman, and she's like, I was thinking about your problem, and the Lord told me you should sell them on the computer. Sell your pianos on the computer. And Terry's like, that's a great idea. I got to get out of here because you're crazy. So, of course, he does it in that sweet way where he says, oh, bless your heart. And
Bless your
he
heart.
thinks about it. And then he's like, you know, he told me about the story about, you know, the guy, it's a flood and, you know, you should get out. No, the Lord's going to save me. And at the end, he goes to God and says, why didn't you save me? He's like, I did. You know, I tried. I sent you the news report. I sent you a helicopter. You know. So Terry takes that and he's like, God's telling me what to do here, right? So I should do, that was the message. I should sell these things online. His first thought when the woman tells him that is, how am I gonna, because she said her grandson sold CDs.
On eBay.
Yeah, Terry's like, how am I, you could just put them, I can't put a stamp on a piano. This is crazy.
Drop it in the mailbox.
Yeah, so next day, right? The next day he starts selling, sells them out in a week. So he doesn't think about, he doesn't latch on to his idea of I can't ship these things cheaply, right? He just goes past that. He goes, well, what's my first solution? My first solution is I got to sell these things. That's all he's thinking about. He sells out his whole inventory in a week. Then the problem comes to him. How do I get rid of these things? I've now sold them. How do I deliver them? So what would you guys have done?
Hire a U-Haul and drive them out there.
Yeah, that's what Terry did. Terry got a truck and just was like, well, I'm gonna take my brother-in-law. We're gonna go around the country. We're going everywhere. And he delivered pianos for 2 weeks. That's amazing. And then, and then he's like, oh, and the next thing is I talked to someone.
Welcome to TerryWilson3.com, home of TW3. Are you ready to take your money, business, and life to the next level? You are worth more, and you're about to hear how and why. So buckle up and listen up as we journey to the next level. Please welcome your guys to reach your goals, the TW3 family.
Thank you. Listen, Jesus turned water into wine, but Miller Time turned cold into hot, and that's what he's talking about tonight. How can you take just cold, dead, stale, don't want to talk to nobody, leave me alone people, and turn them into somebody that says, how you doing? So Miller Time's going to be talking about that tonight. We got him on the horn down there in High Life headquarters. But first, trickle down. How have you been?
Pretty good. Got a little bit of a tooth problem, so if you see me going like this, that's my teeth.
No.
But I'm good.
Good. So working in TW3 support and call and customer acquisition department this week.
We've been busy.
It's been
a little busy.
Been just I told Miller Time before we got on here, I said, I've been like a one-legged man in a butt kicking contest. I don't know which way's up right now.
It's good to see, though. I mean, all the trainings that you're putting out, all the content you're putting out, and, we got guys like Chris who are being really innovative. They're working on their own stuff, and it's just, the business is growing. It's good to see.
Miller Time makes it happen. I mean, if it can happen, Miller Time will make it happen. And speaking of the legend, Chris, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Hey, tell me the truth now, Reagan. Does anybody give you more tickets than me?
Believe it or not. Yeah.
Dude,
not even close.
Dude, you're not even
not even
I'm
close.
always throwing a ticket in there. What about this? What about that?
It's kind of cool, though, because that's something that comes up every conference is I'll talk to guys and they'll be like, I'm so sorry. And I'll be like, why? And they're always like, I know I send in a lot of tickets. It's like, well, number one, keeps me employed. So keep doing it because obviously I'm here for a reason. But number two, there's a few people, and I think they might know who they are. They got the crown for tickets. Like
know who you are.
And it's no worries. Nobody needs to apologize for tickets.
Well, one of the beautiful things, and it's not unique to our business, but we employ this model in our business, Chris, and you're very familiar with it. We align our interest with the people we associate with. So it's in our best interest that you get your questions answered and you are as successful with our tools as possible. So that's what we want. So it never bothers us for people to ask, hey, I want to make more money with your tools. How do I do that?
Yeah, and my training tonight is going to be all about that because I got innovative and I got some good results out of it.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see that training. Normally I get to have a little preview, a peek of it, but it's just been so crazy. I haven't even been able to do that.
Yeah, it was kind of funny before the call. You're talking to girls like, hey, what's your training about?
I hate to say this, but I hate to admit this, but it has just been nuts. Chris, we were dealing with a client today, Reagan was, and you get the pushback sometimes when you're wanting to talk to people about entrepreneurialism, of course. Maybe they've never been a business owner. We deal with a lot of business owners, so it's not a problem when you're dealing with that. But for those people that are trying to transition into that, sometimes you have those mindset hurdles. What do you tell young Reagan here when you offer someone a salary job with benefits, with a 401k, with a pension plan, with health benefits, with a $40,000 base salary plus up to 70% commission on his sales, and he still goes, but do I have to come into the office? That's the only caveat. You got to be at the office 2 to 3 times. You don't even have to be there 40 hours. It's just 3 times a week. Show up for some training.
Yeah. You just tell him don't do it.
Well, that's what we were talking about. He might not be the guy for this position. I tell you what, Reagan called me and goes, Dad, you can't even give jobs away sometimes to some people. It's amazing, but anywho. So what you got going on in your world down there in Florida?
Oh, things are moving and shaking down here lately. There's been a big uptick in my world, so I'm trying to catch up to it, you know?
Yeah. It sounds like you're in the same position we are, just trying to keep up with everything that is happening. So we've had a lot of videos that was dropped the previous week, and as a direct result, we have brought on some national accounts that we're doing recruiting for and stuff like that. And that's probably going to fold into some other things like that. So
Pretty excited for that stuff.
it's an exciting time to be at TW3 because it's both a promise and a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much with this platform you can do.
Yeah. It's become a
Yeah,
little
the
bit.
app is really coming together. I mean, it's taken a while for us to really weed our way through the little idiosyncrasies of it,
Yeah.
but it's really coming together and starting to be super functional,
Yeah.
That was the thing for a while too, is we always had the app so new, and it's kind of like it's now like a pillar of sort of what we do, is how functional and how useful that app is. I mean, Chris can attest to it. His training is going to be a part of it, but just a year ago, we didn't have that app, year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And then now we've got the app. We're recruiting in some other spaces, and so now it's kind of like a little bit of a game, because all my conversations over the last couple of years have been, conversations like everybody's having. It's like, well, this is what we do. It might be of interest to you, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, it's a business opportunity. Business opportunity is not for everybody.
Sure.
Talking about what you were mentioning earlier, we got positions where I'm offering salary, and, I'm thinking of how I would present this to myself, and I'd be like, oh, 401k, pension plan, salary, I only got to be there 3 or 4 days. Like, this is a pretty good deal. Like, and commission, come on. And then you still talk to some people. It's just like, oh, you don't want to do anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was under the impression you wanted to job.
So
you just want money.
I'm excited for this conversation. I'm excited for Chris's training, because, finding those qualified leads, turning those cold leads into hot leads, that's what it's all about.
It is. So,
Hey, brother, I'm doing it on autopilot.
That's the way to do it, because I'm calling them right now. There's still some that I'm calling personally. It's like, I could have saved myself a conversation.
Chris, I was looking at some of the things, and I still have your stuff on honestly on my desk and on the top, believe it or not. But some of the automation and ideas you have for your funnel, and it's
smart.
It's smart.
It's smart.
Now, because you're not going to be spending your time, but with anybody that is ready to say, sign me up, here's my check, how much do you need today?
Yeah, I let the funnel tell them to go away. Anybody's still there, I let the funnel work that for me.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I'm just there like, okay, what's your card number?
Yeah, exactly. I just need the expiration date on this so we can go ahead and move forward on this.
That's smart, though. He's saving his time, saving the client's time,
It's saving everybody time.
It's in the best interest of everybody involved. I love it.
Absolutely. Well, we've got that training coming up in just a few moments, and so that's going to be real cool. Make sure, if you would like to be on my next live Q&A, and I do live Q&As over on LinkedIn, and I've got one coming up. This is Monday night. I'll probably be doing one tomorrow, maybe. Around 3. If not tomorrow, it'd definitely be Wednesday. I haven't landed on that. But if you would like to be part of that, all you have to do is text the word QA, text the letters QA to 864-507-9696. The letters QA to 864-507-9696, and you will get an automatic response with what's going on, when, and all of that.
Not lead to.
And and then you'll be invited to others as they come out. And Chris, if you, I know you got a lot going on, but last Elite Mastermind, we went over how to have the system set up to do automatic responses on keywords, which is really, really cool. That was a concept we introduced, but there was still some components back there that wasn't acting right. Well, we got them to act right now. And so you can do, and it's really easy. It's not super difficult to do. It's just a matter of setting up this workflow, naming it what you want so you can keep up with it, and then choosing your keyword, whatever you want. So,
yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm planning to check that out actually this weekend, because I wasn't able to be there. I had a different appointment going on.
Sure.
But I'm trying to get caught up and stuff. I've also been putting together a lot of private trainings for people in my TW3 group. that are under me. So, I've been doing a lot of pretty innovative trainings there. So
Nice. Well, and are you taking it just out of curiosity? Are you using any of that membership app that's in yours to put modules together or anything yet?
I am not yet, but I am planning to add that into it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's part of the plan. It just takes me a while because I have a pretty tight schedule right now.
Yeah, I know you got a lot going on. So, and you are a sort of like me, a serial entrepreneur, and got your hands in several different things. And so you do it one at a time. That's all you can do. So definitely that's going to be cool. Well, when we get back right after this, we're going to get into that training with Chris. So we'll see you in just a second.
Hey, what's something I don't know about you, Terry?
Something you don't know about me.
What's something you never tell anybody? Here's what I know about. I mean, I know you had a piano business. I know that you had an economy that crashed that business. I know that you bounced back, came back. You spent some time on the Tony Robbins, Fiji resort, and you built a business today, blah, 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 blah. I mean, everybody who really knows anything about Terry knows these things. Tell me the most embarrassing moment related to sports.
The most embarrassing thing in sports was when I was in junior high at basketball camp at Campbell University. And one of the things I loved growing up in the Carolinas, North Carolina specifically, at my age group was the time when Michael Jordan and all of those were playing at North Carolina University. And so everyone in North Carolina was big Tar Heel fans back in the day. Matter of fact, during the ACC championships and stuff like that, school was almost let out. School literally just shut down. TVs were rolled into all the classrooms and everybody was glued to Duke, North Carolina State, Wake Forest, in this big tournament. Dean Smith, the coach of North Carolina back then, was as high as a figure you could put. He was like the Pope for people in North Carolina. He was like the Billy Graham of, evangelicals. And so I got the chance to go to basketball camp. Couldn't afford to go to the North Carolina. I couldn't go to Dean Smith's basketball camp. It cost too much. So I went to Campbell University. All I wanted to do, my childhood dream, was to play basketball for Dean Smith. Well, it got out that the second week at the camp on that Tuesday, Dean Smith himself was coming to Campbell University to do a workshop while we were there. Oh my God. I go all fangirl. And so I'm out there and all I want to do is impress Dean Smith. So I'm out there and I'm working myself up a lather. I mean, I am hustling. I'm over the top crazy. At the end, Dean got up and sort of spoke to our group of about 40 kids, and he pointed me out and used me as an example of being high energy and low effect. Oh. It crushed me. It crushed me. I was used as the illustration in that talk of how you can expend a ton of energy and do a lot of things and be very, very busy. But at the end of the day, you're paid to execute, not to provide effort. Effort is important, but execution is what puts the points on the board. It's what stops points from going on the board. We spend our time learning our craft, developing our skills so that we're effective. And we execute on a plan. And I wasn't executing on any plan. I was just working myself to death.
You're listening to TerryWilson3.com. TerryWilson3.com. Inspiring, informative, and entertaining content for the entrepreneur and small business owner.
Hey, everybody. You are listening to the TW3 podcast. This is episode 512. We've got Chris Miller with us, who has put together a special training for us. So let's get into it.
Hey, everybody. Chris Miller here for TW3 Systems. And I'm going to talk to you today about something super cool. The TW3 Systems software that we have is going to put everything together for you. It'll manage your lead sources. It'll manage your social media campaigns. It'll manage everything you want it to do. It'll put everything on autopilot for you. It'll qualify your leads. It will move your leads through your pipeline. It will even help sell your leads and turn them into customers for you. It does it all on autopilot so that you don't have to do everything manually. It'll follow up. It'll do it all. And right now, I'm going to show you one neat thing that it can do, and that's how it can take cold leads that you've had lingering around in your list and turn them into hot leads with just the click of a button. So take a look at this. Okay, so here we are at the login screen for my TW3 back office. I'm going to go ahead and log in here. And then when I get inside here, I'm going to do a couple of different things. First and foremost, one of the things I'm going to do is for what I'm going to be doing here today, I'm going to be creating from a cold list. I'm going to turn cold leads into a hot lead list. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to go over to the lead system, and I am going to go to data lists. Okay, and I am going to pull a data list. So here's how we do this. So we're going to go to the B2C lead list, right? Because that's who I'm looking for. B2C is business to consumer. B2B is business to business. Okay, so you can pull a list of businesses, or you can pull a list of individuals, right? All of these are already opted in. They're already scrubbed against the do not call list database and everything else. So they're all really good leads, but they're cold leads. Okay, they don't know anything about me or what I'm selling or anything like that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say I want them to be between 25 and 50 years old. I'm going to put them in Orlando, Florida. And I want their credit rating to be at least 600, right? Do I care if they own a home? I don't in this case. I want them to be an income range of around 40,000 plus. And I don't care about their ethnicity, so I'm going to put any right here. All right, so now it's $29.97. As a TW3 member, I can put in a coupon code right here that will bring this down. Give me a huge discount off of it, okay? And I'll just apply that code, and look at that. It dropped it down from roughly 30 bucks down to just $6, $5.99, okay? And then I'm just going to go ahead and check out. Okay, so it's been about 24 hours now, and I just got my leads in my inbox. So as you can see, here there's my leads. I just go down and down and down and down and down, and there are at least 1,000 of them. In this case, there was 1,101 leads, minus the headline. So that's 1,100 leads that I ended up getting out of this list. Every one of them meet my credentials and my qualifications that I wanted them to meet, and I'm ready to go. So this has the first name, the last name, their phone number, do not call list if they're on it, birth month, birth year, email address. One thing I want to add is a tag, right? And I want the tag to be lead list. Copy that. And I'm going to drag it down all the way to the bottom. Why am I doing this? Because I want it, when it puts it into the CRM, I want it to automatically tag it. I don't want to go in there and tag them all individually. Okay, Control V. Boom, now they're all tagged with the tag lead list, right? I want to file, save as. Yeah, got it. I'm going to put it, browse. In my file for TW3. Documents. lead list. Orlando to 28 February 2022. So I'm just going to title it lead list, where it is. This is Orlando, 28th of February 2022. That's when I got it. Okay. So here we are. It is a comma delimited lead list, CSV. Okay. There's different ways that you can do it. That's how you want this. CSV. And we're going to save it. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into my CRM. So I'm going to come over here to the TW3 app. All right, I'm coming to my contacts. I'm going to go over here to where it says import contacts. And this is where I'm going to import my leads. Now let's roll over to automation for a moment. So here we are in here. We're going to go lead list, TW3 Systems lead list. This is a workflow that I set up to run whenever I import a new lead list or whenever I decide to run to an old list, kind of thing like that, right? So here it is. It's going to start in order, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, right? And we're going to go right here. And we're going to say whenever the list tag, the lead list tag is added, right? If I click on it, lead list tag is added, contact tag is added, lead list, right? Then it's going to do this. It's going to drop a voicemail. So it's going to call each and every one of those 1,100 leads on autopilot. I'm not going to have anything to do with it. It's going to pick up the phone. It's going to dial each one of them. And it's going to leave a voicemail. So it's going to ring once and then go straight to their voicemail. And this is what it's going to say. Hey, this is Chris Miller with TW3 Systems. Looks like I got your voicemail. Sorry about that. I was given your name as someone who might be looking for a change at work. And I thought you might be interested in seeing what we have to offer. So I'm giving you a call to see if you want to talk about it. We pay top dollar. Leads come straight to you, so you don't have to cold call or anything like that. You can work remotely. We offer full training and support. If you think you might be interested, just text me back the word information and I'll send you some info and a link to book an interview. Okay? Talk to you later. Bye-bye. And there you have it. So that voicemail, which is very relaxing, very, it sounds like a natural voicemail that somebody would leave. Doesn't sound like a robot calling you. Doesn't sound like anything crazy. It's not a sales pitch. It just says, hey, your name was given to me as somebody who's looking to maybe make a change in their work. I thought maybe you'd be interested in what it is that we currently offer. If you are, reach out to me and I'll send you some information. Simple, easy, done. Right? Now they're going to call back. A lot of times they're going to call back because, one, they're wondering, who the hell gave you my name? Right? They want to know. They want to know, where did you get my number? How'd you get my name? So the curiosity alone is going to get them to call back. Right? Some of them might text the word information and it'll just automatically send them information. Others will make a phone call. Right? So what happens if they make that phone call? Let's cancel out of here for a minute. So that's it. This first one is done now, right? But let's go back. And let's move on to the second one. Let's say they responded with a phone call. Incoming call response to the voicemail drop, right? It's going to wait for 2 minutes and it's going to send them a text message directly to their phone. And that text message just says, hey, thanks for getting back to me. Sorry I missed your call, but I'm actually able to send you that information right now since I'm between appointments. I'll send it to the email address that I have for you, right? That's where it says contact email. And that right there will be replaced with the email address that's in our record, okay? So I'll send it to this email address, and then it says email address I have for you, right? If you don't see it in about 5 minutes, check your junk, spam, or promotional folder. If for some reason it doesn't get to you, no problem. You can also view the job by clicking this link. And there will be a link right there that I've already pre-established. Okay? So that's what the text message goes out. Whether they click that email, whether they click on the link in the email or they click on the link right there in that text message, it's going to trigger the next thing. It also sends them the email. Here's the email that says, thanks for getting back to me again. I don't know if what we're offering is better than what you're doing now, but if you follow the link below, it'll take you to the job posting page, which explains our company, the services we offer our clientele. And if it speaks to you, you can apply to join as a member of our team right there from that page and fill out the application. If not, thanks for getting back to me anyway. I wish you all the best. Here's that link. Boom, there it is. So this is the same link, obviously, in the email as is in the text message. Whichever one they choose to click on, it's going to satisfy the next thing, which says, when that link is clicked, take them to this page. Okay? Next. So when that link is clicked, it's going to remove the tag lead list and get them off that list so that this kind of thing doesn't repeat to them, right? And it's going to add a next tag, which is hot lead. And just like that, they have become a hot lead. Because now, here's what has happened, right? Here's what has happened. They were a cold lead, knew nothing about us. They got a voicemail left to them, said, hey, Chris Miller called you and left you a voicemail about a possible job. You might be interested. If you want to know more, reach out to Chris Miller. Then they did reach out. Right there, they became a medium lead, right? I mean, they're simmering. But then I sent them that information. And what did they do? They created another action and they clicked on that. They wanted that information. Now they're a hot lead officially, right? They've reached out more than once. They're ready to talk. They're ready to move. From this point, I can do all sorts of things, right? But let's take a look at what I am going to do, because I'm not going to get involved personally at this point. You can if you choose to. Personally, I'm not. Okay? Here's what I am going to do. So they're going to click on that, and it's going to take them right here. Boom. It says voted top 10 best work from home businesses in 21. Here's a little video of Terry talking about what TW3 Systems is about. Here's a little information about what our service is all about. What does our system do for people? It says here you can apply now. Here's information about the job right here. And that posting is going to close in 6 hours, 4 minutes, and 8 seconds, and then I've got to repost it again. But here's information about the job. And it says, if this is for you, give us apply right now. What are you waiting on? And they're going to go ahead and they're going to put in an application. And they're going to put their application in, and it's going to redirect them automatically to my orientation video. Boom. And they're going to take that. Then they're going to fill out the little form and move on to the next orientation until they can get to the end of that. And then it will take them to my scheduling page. Where they can book an appointment with me. Let's go to next month. Okay. There they go. They can pick the day and the time that they want to book an appointment with me. Okay. So there's no appointment times today because today's almost over. Let's look at tomorrow. Well, there's nothing tomorrow, and there's nothing Wednesday. They're all full up. So nothing on my calendar available until Thursday of next week. Or Thursday of this week. Excuse me. Today is Monday. So they can't get on my calendar at all until Thursday. But it looks like most of Thursday is open right now. Most of the morning. Looks like after 1:30 I'm booked up. So this is it. Then they schedule their appointment, and that's when I get involved. But let me tell you, here I am. I'm taking 1,000 leads that I just bought for $6, right? And then I called them. Every one of them. How long did it take me to call them? Like 10 seconds, right? All I had to do was click a button, right? Everything else was done. And then I called them. I left them a voicemail. They called back. I sent them information. At that point, they became a hot lead. When they click on that information, they're a really hot lead, right? They're smoking. They're ready to go, right? Now they're going to go through orientation and they're going to set an appointment with me. That's going to pre-qualify them. It's going to weed out anybody who isn't right. It's going to set up the thing for success, and it's going to sell the thing for me. The orientations are designed to do that. By the time I get involved and get on the phone with them, it's already sold. All I got to do is help them figure out how best to take advantage of it for their purpose, right? That's all I got to do. So all of that happened, cost me $5 to do, $6 to do, and a little bit of prep work in advance, right? But now that I have this set up, I can literally do this over and over and over again on repeat, on autopilot, for next to nothing, right? Now, I can also do this to my leads that are already in my CRM that haven't gone anywhere, right? If they've gone cold, I can just re-add the tag again. Boom. I can do this anywhere in the country, all over, different zip codes, different towns, different areas, whatever I want, different states, however I want to work it. Okay? Back in the day, Terry would tell you, hey, go out there, put an ad on Craigslist or whatever, put an ad on Facebook, do all these things. It was expensive, right? Like a Craigslist ad is what, $35, $45, something like that. Every time you run it, you got no control over who's going to see it, if anybody sees it. You got no control over who's going to take any kind of action whatsoever. You do it this way, it's $6 every time. 1,000 names every time. 1,000 people are going to get that voicemail. 1,000 people are going to get that voicemail every time. How many of them are going to call back? Who cares? The point is, they're all going to see it. I have control over that. What I don't have control of when I throw an ad out there is how many people are going to find that ad. This way, I have full control over who's going to get my ad. And I have full control over what happens when they do. Okay? Let me show you something else real quick. If I go over here to settings, and I go to company billing, okay? Here's my card on file, and here is my current balance that I have available. Let me refresh it to make sure it's accurate, okay? Here's my current balance I have available. Let me go to see details for just a second. There's $2.08 there, right? So let me scroll down here to the bottom, and I've got, I don't know how many pages. Looks like I've got 11 pages now. Oh, I just got recharged. Oh, no, this is my first charge, October 8th. So October 8th is when I put $5 on this account. 11 pages later, right? All of these transactions have happened over and over and over again, right? Over and over and over again. And they just keep happening. But look at these numbers. I want to show you this for a second, okay? So look at these numbers here, okay? This is a text message. It was 1.5 cents. Here's an email. 1/10 of a penny. Right? Because here's a penny, and then here's 1/10 of a penny, right here. 14th of a penny. Here's 1.5 pennies for a text message. Here's 1/10 of a penny for an email, right? Let's see if we can find a call. I think I just had a call recently. Hold on, let's go to the front page. Here's a call right here. Look at this. 1.7 cents. Less than 2 cents for a call. Okay? So this is what I'm talking about, folks. It is so inexpensive to do anything through the TW3 system. Look, if I was on my own, because we get our own phone number directly through the app. If I want to make a call, check it out. Boom. There it is. I dial out right there. I can speak through my computer, right? It will record the call. I can take calls through here. I can send out calls through here. I can call specific contacts through here, right? I can dial a direct number through here. It's a true call center, okay? I can tell it what number do I want to call from if I have multiple numbers. So that's the caller ID that's going to be. Okay? Let's close out of that. All right. So this is very cool. If you had your own setup with like an autoresponder, let's say, for example, Get Response or whatever, right? They charge you like 60, 70 bucks a month, depending on how many emails you have, right? That you're sending out in a month to send emails. Whether you use them all or not, doesn't matter. They're going to charge you that same amount. Doing it this way, so much cheaper, right? Right. Let me just show you something for a second. Let's say I'm going to put out 1,000 emails, right? 1,000. I'm going to multiply that by 0.00147. 1,000 emails cost me $1.47. And I did it on the calculator to show you the math of how to do that. But basically 1,000 emails is what it costs when you're doing it at a tenth of a penny, folks. Okay? $1.47 gave me 1,000 emails. Let's say I want to do 5,000 emails in a month. $7.35. 5,000 emails. If I ran 5,000 emails through my Get Response account in a month, easily $200. And that's just for the emails. It doesn't take into account the text messages, right? Let's talk about text messages. Text messages, they vary depending on the size of them, right? So they can be as much as 3 cents. So if I'm going to do 1,000 of those at 3 cents, say the most expensive, it's $30, right? Most places are twice that. Would have cost me 60 to do 1,000 text messages, at least. Okay, phone calls, $60 easy. I can do 1,000 phone calls. $0.0017 for $1.70. You cannot get this anywhere else. You cannot get this anywhere else. All right. That's the beauty. That's the benefit. All right. So how much is this campaign going to cost me? Check it out. Here's what's going to happen. This is your cost, right? You want to know your cost. You got to know your numbers, right? So here's how we're going to figure this out. We're going to have 1,000 calls, which I forget what we just said it was, but 1,000 times 0.0017 is $1.70, right? Plus, let's go ahead and store that, right? And then we're going to say plus 5.99 for the leads, 1,000 names, right? That's that much right there. We're going to go ahead and store that, okay? And then we're going to say how many text messages and emails are going out. Well, I got 1,000 emails that are going out times 0.00147. That's $1.47, right? Plus what we already had saved is that much right there. Store that. And then I've got 1,000 text messages that come out. Times 0.0. Well, we're going to go ahead and go 0.03 for all of them, even though they're not all going to be 0.03. They're probably half of them are, but we're just going to go ahead and do that. Okay? So that's $30 plus recalled and $39.16 is going to be my entire cost on this campaign to turn these leads from cold to hot. That's it. And I'm going to get maybe $15,000 out of this in sales. Okay? $39 to make 15 grand. That's the power of the TW3 system. That's the power. And it is super awesome. All right, folks. Until later, I'm Chris Miller, reminding you to always keep smiling. And if you need to get started, you haven't got a trainer yet set up already, get on my calendar today. Just go to tw3systems.com and get started, okay? It'll take you directly to the landing page to give you all the information that you need, All right? TW3systems.com. Get there, meet up with me. Let's talk about it. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.
So here are some reviews of members who are using the brand new TW3 app.
Well, you kind of outdid yourself on this application. Man, there are some nice bells and whistles in here. I mean, this thing is able to do and function in ways that combine a number of different applications together and seamlessly communicate. It's integrated. If you look at my app, you'll say, here's an example of somebody that just got in here and started playing around. No, it's fun, man. It is a fantastic application. And, the funnels, the tracking system, the opportunity, the CRM is all, I love it. It's beautiful. And once, it just takes some time. And then once you do it over and over again, it becomes easier, so the more time you spend working at it, the easier it gets.
To harness the power of the new TW3 app, go to TerryWilson3.com today or call, text, or email your authorized TW3 member. All right, we are back. What a great training there from Chris Miller time. Chris, where do you come up with all this stuff?
Right there.
Well, what do you feed that? That's what I need. What kind of what kind of fertilizer?
I'm thinking pizza.
Pizza. Yeah, he texted me on the way. He said, "I'll be there right on time." I said, "I'm picking up some pizza."
Love it.
Oh man. Well, there's River. What are you doing, River?
Just chilling.
Just chilling. And River says, "I'm just here.
Yeah.
I'm just here. Don't talk to me." But the problem is, it's a podcast.
Yeah. So, hey everybody.
Hey everybody.
That's the energy we need.
That's the energy we want right here on this show. So anyway, well, it is so important to nurture and turn those leads from cold to hot, like Chris was talking about there. And there's two ways to do it. You can do it hard or you can do it smart. And Chris just showed you the smart way of doing it because, why does big companies get bigger? Because they have the resources to scale. And so if you're a solopreneur out there, you're an independent out there, small business owners, independent sales guy, why not leverage these tools that he's illustrating right here and make it happen, right, Chris?
Absolutely. I mean, we have such an amazing platform right now to make our lives simple. And I just felt like we weren't utilizing it to its fullest capability. And I'm still not using it to its fullest capability, but darn it, I will get there.
Well, you and me both, brother. You and me both. I mean, because every time I turn around, Michael is dropping some other toys for me to play with. He says, "Try this out. What do you think?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so he puts it in there, and I have to learn it because some of you guys, like you and others, you get to it before I do. And it's like, "Oh, this thing is cool." And now we're on the mastermind, and they're showing me what my own system will do.
Yeah. That's the beauty of our elite members, though. Because
it really is.
It goes to show you they're using it. I mean, there's a utilization there, like it's being used, and so we get a lot of ideas just from our members alone. Because it's not all going to come from us,
Absolutely, and that's the cool thing. If you're a small business person out there, maybe you own a small retail shop, restaurant place. One of the things I will tell you will help your business is to get around other small business owners. People that knows what it is to have payroll, knows what it is to have to manage a team, knows what it is to navigate some of the challenges that our current economic, political, societal challenges are coming. I mean, these are all, but that's what business is. I mean, business is, how do you navigate today's challenges? And that mastermind will help you.
Yeah.
You know what business is, Terry? Business is being put on the rack, right?
Yeah.
But instead of just two directions, you're pulled in four directions. You're pulled both ways. And you got to figure out how to keep yourself intact.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly struggling against that pull.
Absolutely. And I love business in this one regards. I think I love business because it's the same thing as sports, but sports is sort of drilled down to this this game that we're trying to put, okay, here's the rules of the game. Here's the best techniques to play the game. And the score dictates who wins. Mm-hmm. Where business is so much wider. It's got a much wider scope of areas it touches in our life. But at the end of the day, if I can work on my interpersonal skills, work on whatever skill set that particular task require, man, it all plays. And then there's a scoreboard, and the beautiful thing is, if I lose the day, I didn't lose. I just learned. I go back tomorrow. Yep. And I go back tomorrow. And it might be the first quarter, the first half, I'm constantly putting up.
Well, that's why it's so important to learn from the players, as it were, like Chris, that have they've come up with ways, they've come up with systems, they've come up with their own way to do something that is helping them in the area and might need to help you. I know for me, like, I'm guilty of, I'll waste my time on somebody that really didn't deserve all that time. You know? I'll put it, and seeing Chris, come in, he's like, I've faced that problem. I've had that too. It's a common problem in sales.
And I put a video up that says, go away.
Here's how I work around it. And it's like, oh, that's awesome. Like, I love that, Owner's son,
innovation is born from necessity, right?
Absolutely. What's the old adage? If you want an entrepreneur to learn how to do anything, like make a parachute, just kick them out of the airplane and give them the material, they'll figure it out on the way.
That's right.
Oh, my word. Well, guys, I hope you have enjoyed tonight's podcast. We've got a ton of videos we're dropping every week. Make sure you subscribe over at terrywilson3.com/YouTube if you want to see some of the tools that Chris is talking about. Some of the tools that Chris is talking about, we're constantly coming up with various strategies of different markets you can use it in. If you are in a particular market and saying, hey, here is something I'm going through, here is a pain point, let us know. We can show you, and I'll produce a video shows you exactly how our tools can help you scale your business, help you support that business, help you grow that business, help you put in systems within that business that will streamline things so you're not wasting your time. We'll do whatever we can just to help illustrate how you can go to the next level using some various tools. And hint, if you decide you want to use someone else's tools, the strategy will still work for you.
Training still applies.
The training still applies, but I think you'll find once you shop it out and see value to value, apple to apple, we've got the best tools for the best price and the best support around. So I think that'll help. Chris, if the people want to connect with you, they connect by going to?
They can just reach out to tw3systems.com and they can follow along from there. It's pretty simple.
tw3systems.com, and you can get to the high life down there and talk to Miller Time himself.
And while we're at it, folks, if you haven't done so already, take some time, go to LinkedIn and look up TW3 Radio and support your local entrepreneurs.
Yes, absolutely. And if you want to hear weekly encouragement and illustration of how you can take that shop, that restaurant, that whatever it is you do to the next level, get over there, connect with some other people. That's what it's all about. And guys, especially if you're a member, take what Chris showed you tonight and implement it. So many times we as entrepreneurs and small business owners, we live in our head. It's just like, it's a great idea, it's a great theory. But if you don't do anything with it, what happens? Zero.
And a lot of people are really good salespeople, for example, Terry, but they're afraid of making cold calls, right? This is perfect for those that are afraid of doing it,
Absolutely. Let the system do all the cold calling for you.
Yeah.
It never hurts my feeling for someone to delete my email, to ignore my text, or not respond to some marketing piece. Oh, goodness. Well, it was good stuff tonight. Miller Time, thank you for taking time. I know you're super busy, so thank you for taking this time to pour some value into the TW3 community.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
All right. Well, guys, we will be back, same bat channel, same back time next week at 8 p.m. streaming. Like I said, if you do want to be on the next live stream that I'm doing where we're just doing a Q&A, then text QA to 864-507-9696. That's 864-507-9696. Text the letters QA, and you can be on our next live question and answer session. Talk to you later.
Thank you for listening to our show today. If you have any questions or would like to speak with us about your goals, then please call or text us at 864-507-9696. Reach out to us online at terrywilson3.com.